Air conditioners, your air conditioner's working, that's 16,000 BTU, your forward air conditioner's 10,000 BTU, it works, but it doesn't work, so it needs a shock.
Meaning the probably won't, it doesn't have enough freon for
Correct.
the compressor to kick
Whatever the, the coolant du jour is, that's what it needs. And I don't know which one it would be. But we know it's working. I mean, I looked at that. I went underneath the bunk and, a lot of times the bow thrusters, there's a lot of carbon in there, which is an indication the brushes are approaching the end of their useful life, but that's fine. All that stuff down there is fine. You do as you will. I mean, if the Coast Guard boards you, they're not going to know that those things are outdated. But the insurance-wise, I'm going to tell you that if I don't tell you, if I don't say in the report that they're outdated and something doesn't work, then I'm toast. So these things need to be replaced.
Okay? And there are
four of them.
Four
portable fire extinguishers. You got 2 fixed extinguishers, both of which will have to be weighed at some time in the not too distant future.
And those are below?
One is down here and one is in the lazarette. And that's just, they're Alon 1301 extinguishers, and they haven't been touched. So we don't know what they're good for. So somebody's got to come and weigh them, or you can take them out and take them to a fire extinguisher person and have them weigh and say, here's what I got, and you'll say this is either good and keep going, because if it's not good, then you'll have to get some FE 241s, because Halon is grandfathered in until they don't fit the criteria, and then they'll chunk them, and then you have to get new ones.
So there's no way of testing them then?
No, you just weigh them.
Just weigh them. So we don't know if they're good or not.
Right. You're obviously going to have to get some. Was one life jacket, so you got to get at least one more. It's up there.
No, there's a little bag up there. There's a white bag.
Oh, I thought that was your bag.
No, that goes with the boat.
I thought you had brought that.
It's probably got 4. I did bring it aboard.
I see. Oh, okay. See, that's why I thought it was your bag.
It was with the stuff in the dinghy, and I brought it back. Yeah.
Okay, so there's a total of 5 aboard. Okay, that's fine. I thought that because usually brokers bring.
Yeah. And when I saw that we had, I didn't bring them.
Okay.
Is there a requirement for a throwable?
You got one, and it's up there underneath your grill up there. It's 24-inch gym buoy.
Okay.
You got that. You've got some Solus flares up there as well as inshore flares. A couple of your inshore flares are toast, but they're all expired. I would keep the Solus flares and do whatever you want with the inshore flares. But Solus flares last a long time, even though they're out of date. They're much more robustly built, so I'd keep those.
But we have to have.
You have to have some in-date.
We have to have some in-dated.
Yeah.
So. Or you go to the store, there's this new, if you like the Statue of Liberty, there is this new handheld light, LED SOS, that satisfies the criteria of the Coast Guard. If you have an orange flag and you have that handheld LED SOS, you don't have to buy flares. The difference is, that costs $100. So, you buy, but after 6 years, you bought them anyhow, and it's permanent as opposed to having to replace flares every 3 years.
LED SOS in what color? Does it matter?
It's in white. There's only one you can buy.
It's white light, but it's like an orange buoy type thing.
Yeah.
And you can hold the thing.
My flashlight does that.
Well, but the issue there, yes,
Yeah.
but does it have the intensity required by the Coast Guard?
I don't know. Might work.
Yeah, but the Coast Guard won't approve it.
They because it's got to be an all-around light.
Oh, and it has to have Coast Guard stamped on it.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You didn't think you can get away with it that easy, did you?
Well, I know in my dinghy, all I have to do is shine a light up, hold a flashlight in my hand.
So that, as far as safety appliances, I mean, I don't know how you're going to go about doing what you're doing and the electronics you're going to put on. I always tell people the consideration for at least a passive AIS. But your electronics are not set up for that, so you may upgrade your electronics, and when you do, you should consider putting in a passive AIS.
Passive AIS?
Yes.
AIS, I guess I should know what that means.
Automatic identification system. So all
Like
vessels.
an
No.
All vessels broadcast. Well,
300 tons or greater.
have to broadcast their on the AIS system, which sends out a signal.
Oh, and then
And you
so
can
they
bu-
can
you can-
see you.
No, you can see them.
Well, that's the passive one.
Right.
You
You
get
can,
A and
you can
B.
buy. You can right. You can get one that also transpons you as well. Depends upon how you want to go about it. It's more expensive. But the issue is, if you're going down the ICW, you're in a place that's kind of tight, and rather than saying call the tugboat, 2 miles off buoy number 2 in Bogue Sound or whatever, you say you will know the name of that tugboat and say tugboat whatever. This is me, and how do you want to meet?
And that system is in the radio?
It can be in the radio.
These
it can
days,
be,
most of them come through the radio. You get your AI, it's working through the. So you get, if you got an updated VHF radio, it would have an AIS system in it, correct?
Yes, there are. They go both ways. You can get a unit. If your GPS is updated enough, you can get a unit that plugs in. Some new GPS units already have them in them.
Yeah, don't they have that 2000 something yada yada
NEMA.
2000?
NEMA 2000.
NEMA 2000 where
Yeah,
everything.
Yes, correct.
So what will happen is your chart plotter screen will come up with a bunch of little triangles on it, and you'll see these little chaps, and those are, so you're here at the center, and you'll see that, and you put your cursor on that, and it'll bring up a little window, and it'll say that it's a tanker that it's 500 feet long, and it's carrying this, and it's heading in this direction at this speed. You can identify it so that to call it, or if you hear a tanker calling you, chances are he's wondering what you're doing.
Gotcha.
It's a very, very useful safety device.
If you're transiting an area, and I'm not in terms of tankers, but tugboats in particular. I mean, because yachts and tugboats, they do the same waters. So you're in a situation, he's pushing, you can say, I'm going to come around you just so you know I'm here, or how do you want to meet? What's your preference? Because he may be coming around and wants to bend it around in a particular way and meet on 2 whistles as opposed to 1 whistle, whatever have you.
Okay.
So that is going to be just a suggestion, not a recommendation, just for getting above. We have established conclusively, I do believe, that the anchor windlass works.
I actually saw the thing turn.
The
Windlass.
gypsy.
Gypsy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you've got 2 anchors. I think you have adequate amount there, and that's kind of an assessment. I got to write this thing. I got to, and then